Biggest celebrity scandals ever. Old Hollywood is known for its glitz and its glamour, but a lot of shocking things went on behind the polished facade. These old Hollywood scandals give another insight into what life, love, and illicit liaisons were like for yesterday's biggest stars of the stage and screen. Some of these scandals have been all but forgotten, while others live in infamy to this day. Was life really easier for celebrities before the days of TMZ, photoshopping, and social media? You decide. Fatty Arbuckle's manslaughter charge. Possibly the first big Hollywood scandal took place in 1921. Comedian Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was at a party with an unknown actress, Virginia Rape, and then ended up in a hotel bedroom together. After guests heard screaming from the room, they rushed in and found Rape writhing in agony. A few days later, she died with a ruptured bladder, and her friend accused Arbuckle of raping and accidentally killing her. The funny man was charged with manslaughter but was eventually cleared after 3 trials. When Walt Disney welcomed a Nazi. Walt Disney has long been accused of anti-Semitism, and the insinuation isn't entirely baseless. In 1938, he invited Nazi propagandist filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl to Walt Disney Studios in the immediate aftermath of Kristallnacht, also known as the Night of the Broken Glass, a Nazi government terror campaign that saw synagogues burned, Jewish shopkeepers' windows smashed, and Jews murdered by Nazi youth throughout Germany. It may be going too far to label Disney an anti-Semite, but there's definitely evidence that he, at the very least, admired Riefenstahl. Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin. Jerry Lee Lewis had already been married twice before he wed his cousin, Myra Gill Brown, in 1958. The big scandal wasn't that they were related, but that he was 22 and she was only 13. Okay, so technically she was his first cousin once removed, but it was once enough to make the singer's career hit the gutter. It was something that marked Jerry for life, Myra once said. We kept thinking every year, every 6 months that it was going to go away. They're going to stop talking about it, and it just didn't happen. But it brought me and Jerry very close, and we had 10 incredible, wonderful years together after that. Clark Gable had a secret child. When he starred in 1935's The Call of the Wind with Loretta Young, leading man Clark Gable got a little more than he bargained for. Their extramarital affair produced a daughter, Judy. Young tried to hide the baby by leaving the country as soon as she started to show, then giving birth in California, taking the child to an orphanage and adopting her. Judy, who died in 2011 at the age of 76, was 31 before she learned the full truth about her parentage. Gable never publicly acknowledged that Judy was his child. Charlie Chaplin married much younger women several times. Back in the day, it certainly wasn't uncommon for Hollywood stars to marry much younger women, but Charlie Chaplin did it more often than once. He married 2 16-year-old girls in 1936. He married 21-year-old Paulette Goddard. Then, in 1943, when Chaplin was 53, he married 18-year-old Una O'Neill, the daughter of American playwright Eugene O'Neill. Charlie Chaplin was exiled from America. Another scandalous headline involving Charlie Chaplin came from after he was scorned by U.S. Attorney General James P. McGraner, who believed Chaplin was anti-American. McGranery subsequently banned Chaplin from re-entering the country following his 1952 visit to the UK to promote his final movie Limelight. Chaplin eventually surrendered his permit for re-entry, settled in Switzerland, and refused to return to the United States until he received an honorary Academy Award in 1972. Lana Turner's boyfriend was found dead in her home, Mobster. Johnny Stompanato began an abusive relationship with actress Lana Turner in the mid-1950s. In 1958, he was stabbed to death by Turner's 14-year-old daughter, Terrell Crane, who said she did it to protect her mother from Stompanato's violence. Cue an international media frenzy and much speculation. Many suspected that Turner herself was responsible and Crane took the fall. In the end, it was ruled a justifiable homicide. An actress jumped off of the Hollywood sign. Struggling Welsh actress Peg Entwistle failed to hit the big time in Hollywood, scraping by on minor roles in the depths of the Great Depression and experiencing a run of bad luck. Her career disappointments, combined with the breakdown of her marriage and ongoing mental illness, led to her tragic death in September 1932. Entwistle took her own life by jumping off the H on the Hollywood sign. Alfred Hitchcock harassed Tippi Hedren. Decades before #MeToo, Hollywood was a playground for men who lorded their power over vulnerable women. In 2016, actress Tippi Hedren accused director Alfred Hitchcock of harassment, claiming that he grabbed her, tried to kiss her, and had a secret door installed between his office and her dressing room. In Hedren's autobiography, Tippi, a memoir, she wrote that Hitchcock could find some way to express his obsession with me, as if I owed it to him to reprocreate somehow. Hitchcock's long-reported obsession with Hedren was the central plot of the 2002 movie The Girl, which didn't portray the famed director in a positive light. Pola Negri hosted a photo op at her boyfriend's funeral. It's not only today's social media devotees who are obsessed with setting up the perfect photo opportunity. Silent movie star Pola Negri gave photographers everything they could ask for at the funeral for her lover, Rodolphe Valentino. Negri fainted not once but twice, but 3 times, the second time into Valentino's coffin, where she dramatically declared that he had proposed to her and called herself his widow. Her final blackout took place in front of the $2,000 flower arrangement that spelled out her first name in red and white roses. Ingrid Bergman had a scandalous affair. When wholesome actress Ingrid Bergman started an affair with director Roberto Rossellini, she was married to Dr. Peter Lindstrom. Despite the couple divorcing so the Casablanca star and Rossellini could be together, the public couldn't get over the scandal, which was intensified when Bergman had a child with Rossellini out of wedlock. A Colorado senator even called Bergman a powerful influence for evil. Meanwhile, Rossellini didn't get off lightly. He was named a Nazi collaborator inspired by cocaine. Their romance even spurred some government officials to try to start a system where actors were banned from working if they were engaged in illicit activities. Can you imagine if they'd been successful? Jackie Coogan's parents took all his earnings. Jackie Coogan, who starred alongside Charlie Chaplin in The Kid, made 19 films before his 18th birthday. But of the estimated $4 million he earned from them, his parents refused to give him a cent. Coogan sued them for the money in 1938, but after he paid his legal fees, he was left with only $126,000. However, his case was instrumental in the creation of the California Child Actors Bill, which protects some of a child actor's earnings until they turn 21. The bulletproof man got shot. The death of George Reeves, who's best known for playing Clark Kent's Superman in the 1950s TV series, was ruled a suicide, but it remains shrouded in mystery to this day. Reeves was found dead in his California home with a gunshot wound in his head, not long after he had broken off an affair with Tawny Mannix, the wife of infamous MGM fixer Eddie Mannix. Mannix was known for making problems disappear. Is that what he did with Reeves?